No, 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 no. Hello, welcome to SpaceX Box. I am Uncle Mike, and this is my Kerbal career on Kerbal Space Program on the Xbox One with the mission to put people on Duna, which is Mars here, which is following SpaceX Box, or following SpaceX in the real world. We have already done the Mission 5 briefing and building the Phoenix Beta Mark IV. Now we need to go in flight and we need to orbit the Mun. So Valentina is in the cockpit and we are ready to go. Let's get on the launch pad. Let's get this flight to orbit the Mun. So Valentina is ready to go. Everything is looking good here. But we need to see what position the Mun is in, and the Mun is not in the proper position here. So what we need to do is we need to wait here. So let's go ahead and do some time warp and let's wait for the Mun to get into a good position. We did unlock in the success of mission 4, we did unlock where we can actually do maneuvers, but I want to do a moon direct on launch. So I want to put the moon right on the horizon here. So let's go ahead and just do some time warp. All right, check that out. We've got an eclipse here. So there is the Mun. That is really, really, really amazing. So, all right, so let's go ahead and launch here. So let's go ahead and do our standard countdown. So staging is go. Throttle is 100 and go. SAS is armed and go. Valentina is go. We are go flight to orbit the Mun. So here we go. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff here of mission 5, which is to orbit the Mun. We will do our standard launch profile, 50 meters per second. We will start our pitch program to shoot for the Mun. 50 meters per second pitch program is now commencing. Everything is looking a-okay. Passing through 100 meters per second and 1 kilometer in altitude. We are continuing our nominal pitch program here to shoot for the Mun. Valentine looks good in the cockpit. I am flying the vehicle. Looks like we've taken out a lot of that roll. We had some asymmetry in the Phoenix Beta Mark III, but the Phoenix Beta Mark IV looks much more stable. Continue to climb out. We're at about 1.75 Gs. It's coming up on 350 meters per second, 7.5 kilometers in altitude as we shoot for the Mun. Everything's looking good here. Passing through, looks like max Q. Got a lot of aerodynamics, having to fly the vehicle a lot more here. All right, going to start backing off on the throttle here just a little bit. We're about to get to booster cutoff here. But that is pretty cool, that eclipse right there. All right, boosters are about to go out here on us. We about have booster, so we will go then to throttle up. So, you're a go for throttle up. All right, so throttle up, getting ready for those. There we go, and separation of the boosters, and there we go. And as you can see, the main engine fuel tank is 100% because of those crossover pipes with that fuel system that we did. So that is working out. All right, 1,100 meters per second, passing through 40 kilometers in altitude. Everything is looking a-okay. There is our vehicle. What we are going to do is just shoot for the Mun, just like we did in mission 4. Go ahead and continue our pitch program now. 55 kilometers in altitude. Everything is looking good here. Let's go ahead and see how we're doing. Looking really nice. Let's go ahead and get about 15 degrees there and just to shoot for the Mun. That eclipse was amazing for this flight. So all right, continuing, just shoot for the Mun. Everything is looking good here. I'm gonna go ahead and back off the throttle, give her a nice easy ride since we're now officially in space. So here's what we're doing. So again, after mission 4 in the debrief, we unlock. So we have all the maneuver nodes now, so we can actually design our own maneuvers. So that is gonna make this flight a lot easier, because in mission 4 we couldn't design, we couldn't get all the information. So therefore we were literally just shooting for the moon and hoping, which doesn't work out too well. That's why I failed mission 4's first attempt. But everything is looking good. We've got enough fuel going on here that's probably almost going to give us our encounter with the Mun just on the main stage. Now, might want to think about something. Once we just get up here, I might do an engine shutdown. And we'll talk about this here in just a moment. Let's see what happens. I'm actually watching my periapsis. There's my periapsis. So I'm going to go ahead and do engine shutdown. And we're going to look at this periapsis here. All right, so the I'm going to mark that periapsis. And the reason being is because I actually want to get an encounter with the Mun, where I also want my periapsis to still be in the atmosphere. So that way when we separate the booster here, our main engine, not our booster, but our main engine here in this expended fuel tank, that goes all the way out to the moon around, and then it comes back and burns up in the atmosphere. So we don't have the junk. That's what we're doing. So, all right, so let's go ahead and now continue our burn here, watching that periapsis. I'm gonna give a little bit more throttle. So much is changing so fast now that I really don't need. There we go. We've got a nice encounter. But because now we're using, you can watch this periapsis and now see how much it's changing. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to live with this booster. We can terminate it. We can blow it up remotely, I think. But eventually we can be able to do that. So we're going to leave some space junk. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to do a free return, because we've got enough, still got fuel left in our main engine tank. Let's go ahead and use that and just do a free return, which is basically we want to go out an hourglass maneuver where we actually use the gravity, go around the Mun and back, just like they did in the Apollo program. So we're going to continue to burn, watching that, adding more delta V here, adding more delta V. Now we're getting our free return, our free return, our free return. All right, let's go ahead and shut that down right there. And let's just take a look here at what we've got. So we're at 370. I actually want to make sure that we could actually get back if something should catastrophic happen. So let's go ahead now and make it. That is now in the atmosphere, but I want it a little bit more. So I'm going to go for about 40 here. There we go. I'm going to go with that. So now what we've got is we've got a free return trajectory. All right, so let's go ahead and now do the separation here. So let's go ahead and get you a best view as I can, since now we've got the sun, since it's no longer eclipsed here. The moon's no longer eclipsed. So let's go ahead and do separation right here so we can see how well that decoupler works. So here we go, and separate. There we go. So that booster is going to come with us to the Mun, but with that little bit of that we've got, it's going to drift with us. But once we get to the Mun, we're going to have to do a retrograde burn and get into orbit, because that is the contract. And what we might do is we might do a orbit that takes us very close to the surface of the Mun. So we've got a nice interaction here. We are going to go ahead and time warp all the way out here to our periapsis. So I believe I could actually click on this and focus the view there. There we go. So now this is what it looks like from the Mun. So you can see this is our periapsis with the Mun at 612 kilometers above the surface. So when we get to here, what we're going to need to do is we are going to need to do a retrograde burn and get into orbit. All right, so everything is looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and warp to here. We'll see you at the Mun. All right, we are now in the sphere of influence of the Mun. So one of the things I want to do is I want to go ahead and turn off SAS, because I don't have any solar panels on this vehicle. So now pretty much if I use the reaction wheels, it's going to use battery power. So all right, everything is looking good. There is the mun out there in darkness. We are going to go around the dark side. Well, actually, we're going to go around the light side of it here for periapsis. So here's where we're at. Again, the contract and the mission here is to get into orbit. So we're going to need to design a maneuver right here, in which we unlocked in the debrief of mission 4. So we can actually design our maneuver here. So let's go ahead and work on designing our maneuver. There we go. Let's add a maneuver right here. And as you can see, we've got all kinds of information that pops up in the bottom left. And this is all new for Uncle Mike here, because there's been an update on Kerbal Space Program on the Xbox One where we got all this stuff. I've never seen this before, so that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this new Kerbal career. So, all right. So one of the things that we're going to do here is we're going to cycle this, and we are now going to add a retrograde burn. So there is now, if we just go ahead and circularize it, is roughly about right there. That is just orbit, circular orbit. Now, if we wanted to use less fuel, we could actually then make our orbit very elliptical and just satisfy the contract. But we already got the science for high above the moon. So what I want to do is I want to get the science that's low. So, one of the things that we need to look at here is how much delta V would it take to about right there, to about 50 kilometers. So that's going to take 321, and I am not sure. Yes, it does. It does show me how much we still have here. So this is excellent. So it's saying that right now we've got 1300 delta V. And so if we look at this, I would imagine we're going to have plenty of delta V to do a low orbit like this, the maneuver to do that, and then the maneuver to get back to Kerbal. All right, so what we're going to do then is we're going to go ahead and do this maneuver here. So let's go ahead, and I think we can actually click here, and then you can, do I want to warp? Yeah, I'll warp to next maneuver. So I'm just going to warp to next maneuver. All right, with SAS off, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of pitch here, and we're going to pitch over to retrograde and get ready for our maneuver. Valentina looks like she's having a great time. Everything is going really nice here with this flight so far. So there is the vehicle, and there is the mun, big in the window. So we're just going to burn over here. You can see out there right behind the engine there, that reticle there, that is that main engine with its fuel tanks that followed us around the mun, but it's on a free return back to Kerbal. So, all right, coming up here on our, as soon as we get on here, we are going to burn. Here we go, SAS on, stabilize, get ready for the burn. Here we go. We are now burning. Oh, need to activate the Terrier. There we go. Now we're burning. Little late in the burn there, but that's okay. We are looking for finishing up the burn here, and engine stop. Let's go ahead and see what we've got here while we're at our apoapsis. Periapsis is now at 47. Like it. That is very nice. There we go. You can see how much we've slowed down, and there goes that booster. You can see it passing now on its free return back to Kerbal. Now we've already got the science, so if we take a look here at this science goo, I haven't really found the sweet spot yet. There it is. We observe this mystery goo. We'll still get science, but it's only 4.6, so we've already done this one. So we're going to reset that. Now we're going to warp to our periapsis, the low point of our orbit. And we're going to do some more science. So let's go ahead and now warp to about right there. All right, here we are. And now the Mun is just one big, this is we're on the dark side of the Mun here for our periapsis. And there is Kerbal out there, but now we are approaching low, I think. Let's go ahead and check out this mystery goo. We are now at 30 science, amazing. Let's go ahead and keep that experiment. Let's go ahead and record our pressure. 36, amazing. This is crazy science. Oh, don't want to do that. Nope, nope, nope. There we go, right there. No, come on. Maybe I put this too close to the hatch. I'm just trying to activate. There we go. 24 science, amazing. This is crazy science. All right, so there we are. We have also satisfied all of our milestone. We've orbited the Mun, so that's great. We got the contract done. We got the money for that. Everything is looking good. Now, where we are right now in, let's go ahead and put on our resources so we have it. I'm gonna go ahead and we got a little bit of an oscillation going here. Not really sure why, so I'm gonna go ahead and take off SAS, save our battery power, just in case for our flight home. Now, one of the things that we now need to look at is the flight home. We've already done it. That's what we're going. Let's get home. Let's get Valentina home. So now, right now, we are actually, with our orbit, we are actually going in the same direction as the Mun, which is basically now we are fast if we're going in the direction of the Mun's orbit. Well, of course, what we want to do is we want to burn when we're actually our slowest relative to the Mun's orbit, so we can actually then get back home. But since we've unlocked maneuver nodes, we can actually design our maneuver. So let's go ahead now, and somewhere probably right up here by apoapsis, I would imagine, we need to actually design a maneuver. We can actually move it, I think, now. Yes, we can move it. Let's go ahead and do it somewhere like there. Cycle. Okay, I'm still learning. I'm still learning all of the buttons here. So now what we want to do is, I just messed that up. Cycle. There we go. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to do a prograde burn here to actually leave the sphere of influence of the Mun and drop into Kerbal. So you can see our periapsis up there at Kerbal. Let's go ahead and get right up here. Pin that. So 204. Let's go ahead and drop right into the atmosphere. Let's go to about 40. Okay. There we go. So now we're just going to basically drop right into the atmosphere. We've got that full heat shield. I don't think that's going to be a problem. If we need to, then we can actually use the Terrier engine, unlike what we did. So if we think we're going to need to do that, which we probably need to do because last time we skipped off the atmosphere. So what we can do is, in our design of our maneuver, let's go ahead and make it maybe more about 45 kilometers, our periapsis. And the reason being is, it's very difficult, there we go. And the reason being that I want to do that is because that way we'll leave the Terrier on, and when we enter the atmosphere, we'll also do a burn. And then we'll get rid of the Terrier. Sounds good. Sounds good. I like it. I like it. Okay. So there is our maneuver. Let's go ahead and get out of that. So we are here. We are in the Mun. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of our information here about our stages. Not much to see. But now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and get ready for our maneuver. Let's go ahead and warp to the next maneuver. Again, SAS is off. I'm going to turn off SAS now, just get her going over here. Got a little bit of time here. It's only like about a 300 meter per second burn. We got plenty of delta V and fuel left in our fuel tank for our Terrier. So here we are. Got plenty of electrical charge here up on our resources. EC. Turn on SAS. Stabilize the vehicle. Burn looks to be about 14 seconds down there on our nav ball. So I'm going to start at T-minus 7 seconds start. So basically you do half the burn before 0, half the burn after 0. We're coming up here on our burn. We got 332 meters per second burn. Everything's looking good. Let's go ahead and get into the vehicle. There it is. There is Valentina. So let's go ahead now, activate. A little late again on that burn, but we can do some mid-course corrections. All right, coming up. There's about 3 seconds left on the burn. And engine stop. All right, we can now go into map mode, see what we've got here. All right, so there is our periapsis. Now what we're going to do is I'm not even going to design a maneuver here. I'm just going to slowly add more delta V and get that periapsis down to 45 kilometers. All right, there we are at 45 kilometers. Everything's looking good. SAS is coming off. So now we are leaving the MUN. One of the things that we can do here is, well, we don't know where we're going to land. So we might land somewhere new on Kerbal. So I'm going to keep all of this science for landing. So that is what we are going to do. So, all right, well, let's go ahead then and let's time warp back to Kerbal. So let's come up right about here, I would guess. And let's go ahead and warp to right there. All right, welcome back to Kerbal. So here we are. We need to go ahead now. I'm turning on SAS. We are in the atmosphere. So I'm a little late here. Gonna get some heating effects as we do this because we're really fast and we need to, ooh, that was not the best time warp to do. All right, so here we go. We're now gonna go ahead and use that Harrier engine to help slow us down in the atmosphere. We are really fast at well over 3,000 there meters per second. So we're just going to use that Terrier engine, just use up all of its fuel to help slow us down as we are ducking. And so this is now aero braking. I said I warped a little long. All right, let's see. Take a look at what we've got. Our apoapsis. I really need to set this. Is there a way that I can just set this? I don't know how to set this as the focus. All right, so we're going to skip off, so that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and use this. I don't know how to reset the focus view. Everything's looking a-okay here. What I'm concerned about, and the reason why I was looking to see if we're going to skip off or whatever, which is okay. The reason being is because, oh no, 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 no. I'm really using, oh, she's got, oh, this is not good. This is not good. She's in the thick of the atmosphere. Okay, we're gonna need to, as soon as we can, right here, eject that off. Okay, okay, stabilize, stabilize. Ooh. Oh, that was, it all did from a bad time warp. I didn't mean to time warp right into the atmosphere. Whew. Okay. Oh, that was a game fail there. Just time warping way too long. So, note to self: make sure you don't just willy-nilly time warp in the game. So, I think everything survived. Everything's looking good here. We are now definitely, so I don't know how to change the focus, and I'm not going to do it right now while I'm recording. So we are going to now go ahead and just fly her. I'm going to turn SAS off, hands off. Just save that electrical charge in case we need it. Wow, that was... Luckily, the aerodynamics got us sideways. We got rid of that Terrier engine and its fuel tank, and then that helped correct the aerodynamics correct. Luckily, she didn't tumble, but that was, wow, that was almost another fail, and it all came from not actually from the design of the vehicle or anything like that. It was actually because I time warped right into the atmosphere. So that was the error. So all right, 20 kilometers in altitude, everything's now looking really good. Wow, that was scary. Advanced orbital information, very interesting. Very interesting. How we'll need to at some point here as we're sending. Look at all of this new data that we've got on the HUD. Very nice. All right, 13 kilometers in altitude. We had all of that science. We almost lost all that science there because of that game error that I did of just time warping right into the atmosphere. Oof. Wow. Okay. Need to be a little safer next time. So all right, looks like we're going to be a splash down, so we're not really going to get any new science or anything like that. As normal, we will go ahead with a splashdown. We'll deploy the parachutes at 2.5 kilometers. Everything is looking a-okay here now. Whew. All right, 3 kilometers in altitude and 2.5 kilometers. Chutes are deployed. Canopy is open. Let's go ahead now and time warp to splashdown. All right, we are now at 60 meters, about to splash down here on Valentina's successful contract and mission to orbit the moon here in mission 5, but made an in-game error of just time warping way too long and almost destroyed the vehicle and killed Valentina. So all right, let's see here, what can we do? We've already got all of this. I'm pretty sure we've already, there we go. Now we can get, oh, it's the shores. Let's go ahead and keep that. Maybe we haven't got this. Maybe we're close enough now where it's not, yes, it's not considered the water, it's considered the shores. So that is good science there. Let's go ahead and do a EVA. Yep. So we can do an EVA report. Yes. Let's go ahead and put her back inside. Now we can do a crew report. Not sure why I'm having so much. There we go. All right, now a crew report. Save that. There we go. Let's recover the vehicle. And that has been a successful flight of mission 5 with a scary bit right there. Whew. That was that re-entry. Wow, that was a little alarming. All right, so when we got 222 science, amazing. Everything is looking good. Let's go ahead and do our debriefing here, and let's go ahead and get into the research. Actually, let's go into mission control and let's look and see what we think we're going to have. Explore Kerbal. Rendezvous 2 vehicles. Space around, science around the Mun, so that we know we can do. Science from the surface. Not sure if we're ready to land on the Mun. So we've got some things that we can still do. So okay, so that gives us an idea here of our debriefing of mission 5. So we got rendezvous and get to the surface of the Mun. So that does give us some ideas of what we need to do. So let's go ahead and go into our research and development and let's look at see what we want to. We can start to get bigger vehicles. But actually what I think we need to look at is here in the VAB is upgrading the VAB. Because if we upgrade the VAB, we can make just more components. So yes, we are going to upgrade the VAB here. So there we go. I have upgraded the VAB. So now we've got 255 components. We've already upgraded the launch pad, so weight is not a concern. And we have maneuver nodes available to us. So yeah, everything's looking really, really good here. All right, let's go into the research and development, and let's burn some of our science, and let's see what we want to unlock. So what we've got over here is different shoots, so we can do, so we'll just think about purchasing those when we need them. What is that? Science Junior. So more science, which is always beneficial. Right, let's just take a look at what we need to do in terms of, okay, rendezvous. That was a contract to rendezvous. So if we're gonna rendezvous, we're gonna need reaction control thruster. So we're gonna need this right here, and the only way to get it is to by purchasing that. But where is this the junior? Yes, there is the junior docking port. So if we're going to do the rendezvous, which I think we're going to need to eventually do anyway, so we're going to need to work on getting those trees unlocked. So we're going to need to probably get that for 40 science. We're going to need the docking, and then we're also going to need to have reaction control thrusters and RCS. So we're going to need to unlock this and this. So I'm going to go ahead and research that. Don't really need anything from it, and research that. Now the question becomes, we just can get science from this. So now what we can actually do is Mission 6 actually just might be, in this debrief here, Mission 6 might just be a gain more science mission. Because if we unlock this, Science Junior, then we can just get more science from the things that we've already done. Like going around the mun, getting the science here of the Science Junior. I'm going to go ahead and purchase the Science Junior. Now we've got more battery packs. Probably ought to think about better electronics. Where is solar panels? Do we have solar panels unlocked yet? Radiators. I don't see that we've got solar panels yet that are available to us to be unlocked. No. So we got better batteries though. That might be beneficial too. But that Science Junior, I think, is the most important that what we need to get. So now we've got enough science to do something else. I like the Phoenix Beta Mark IV. Yeah, clearly it's gotten us around the mun. Now we can add more components and heavier. So we can just add more science and just suck up as much science as possible. We'll eventually need to get advanced flight control, because if we're going to do rendezvous in orbit for that contract. Also going to need to unlock, or can I get this, and then we can get then lights and solar panels and more, so better electronics. That is also beneficial. Let's take a look what's in this tree. So I'm not going to do remote stuff. There is solar panels, lights that would actually help probably you, so you can see the vehicle better, and I can see the vehicle better, and also another battery. If we're going to focus on science instead of just doing a contract, I think this is what we need to go ahead and grab. So I'm going to grab better electronics. And so we're going to go ahead and get solar panels, this better battery bank. Don't think I need a thermal system right now. We're going to go ahead and grab the lights. I think that would actually just help the recording and the video better. So I'm going to grab the lights. I'm not even sure what this is. Oh, that's for like on the ground. So interesting. Okay, well, don't think we need that yet. So there we go. Everything else, I'm not going to worry about aviation right now. If we get to that, if we start doing tourism, but SpaceX in the real world is not about tourism right now. So I want to do crewed missions that focus on getting us to Mars or Duna. All right, so I think that is now the briefing for mission 5, which was to orbit the moon, which we did successfully in one attempt, unlike mission 4, where I failed the first attempt. So everything is looking really good. I really do like this, what we've got. But I think after mission 6 here, which will probably be mission 6 in the future, will just be to gather more science from where we've already been. That way we can start to do some rendezvous, because I think we're just going to need to, our design, we probably won't be able to do like a Mars Direct or a Duna Direct. We're probably going to need to do some more stuff with the Kerbal Mun system, rendezvous, refuel and stuff. So we're going to need to get proficient in that. So, all right, well, that has been mission 5. First attempt success to orbit the Mun. So I am Uncle Mike, and this has been SpaceX Bucks mission 5, and I will see you in mission 6.
It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors.